Hey there everyone, this is JY Prime, and it's took me long enough, but I'm finally back at it with another Black Ops 3 Zombies Easter egg tutorial. Yeah, I know, the game's been out for what, like 4 or 5 years now, and I guess 4 years, because Black Ops 4 is the newest COD game out. But I just really wanted to make this video because my past Easter egg video, the Shadows of Evil one, that one has almost 40,000 views. And that, for me, that's incredible. Like, I'm a really small channel right now. I just can't believe how much that video has blown up. And I just want to thank everyone who supported me in that video, liked, subscribed. I hope you guys found the advice in that video to be helpful. From what the comments and the likes have shown me is that people do enjoy this content, so I wanted to make another video regarding the Eisendrache Easter egg and give you some, very straightforward tips and tricks to actually complete this Easter egg. Also, just so you guys know, I have recently started streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So if you guys are interested in checking out my live streams, I'm usually going to be streaming mostly, sometimes in the early afternoons. I'll be streaming games like No Man's Sky, Apex Legends, Minecraft, and just a variety of games, some Nintendo games, Smash Brothers, stuff like that. I'll also be streaming later at night around 5 o'clock to about 9 o'clock is usually when I get off. So if you're interested in that, I want to keep it kind of a family-friendly stream, so I want it to be suitable for all ages. So if you or anyone you know is interested in that, go ahead and just drop on by, and I'd be happy to have you. I'll leave the links to my Twitch and my Facebook profiles in the description, as well as my social media. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have the right gobblegum loadout. Now, there's a variety of ways you could have this set up. I would recommend my loadout would be the loadout that you just saw on screen there. Okay, so round one. So early game, you're going to want to conserve points as much as possible. So as soon as you load into the game, make sure you activate the launch pad, pick up the tram fuse. You're going to activate the tram as soon as it's available, because what you're trying to get out of that is a double points or a max ammo. So preferably a double points, because your strategy for pretty much the entire early game is just points. Like, get the points, conserve the points. That's all you should be focused on. Keep the rounds low. Don't kill zombies unless you absolutely have to. So during the first round, if you get a double points, you should be able to open the first door and maybe even the second door. You're going to go out to the left, or the left from when you spawn, looking out over the cliff. You're going to go out the left door, and you're going to go up to where double tap root beer is, and you're going to open that gate and get to the first dragon head. So like I said, you're trying to conserve points here as much as possible. If you get to there on round 2, that's fine. Just keep as many zombies as possible so that you can start feeding the dragon head as many of the zombies as you can, and try to get it filled up before you hit round 5. That's pretty much what your main goal is here. One thing to keep in mind as well, there's a trick you can take advantage of. If you go prone in front of any of the perk machines on the map, you'll actually get a free 100 points. It's pretty useful actually, especially early game. So if you go prone in front of like quick revive, you'll get 100 points, and double tap will give you another 100 points. So that'll help you open doors and progress during the low rounds without having to kill zombies for the points, which is just helpful overall. So the next thing you're gonna want to do is, like I said, fill up the dragon head. Get him filled up. You should get him filled up probably before round 5, and when he's done, you're going to make your way inside of the castle. So you're going to go through Richtofen's bedroom, Richtofen and Samantha's bedroom. You're going to go through to the power room. So the first door is going to cost, I think it's 1,200 to open, and then the second door is going to cost 1,500. So I would recommend buying the VMP off the wall, or one of the wall guns. I always buy the VMP, I just like that one better. Or if the box happens to be at that location next to the dragon head, just go ahead and run it. Get yourself a good gun, a decent gun, so that way you're not just running around with a pistol for, you know, until round 5. That's never helpful. It's okay to just spend a little bit of money on a gun. That's not a big deal here. It's just more important that you stay alive. So once you get through to the power room and you turn on the power, you're going to have access to the outer courtyard and the inner like laboratory room. So that's where the second dragon head is going to be located. And then you'll also have access to the basement or the underground area, the undercroft, I believe it's called, where the pyramid is. So I'm sure you guys have already watched other videos on this, but if not, I'll give a brief explanation. So if you stand on the 4 squares around the pyramid, you can activate anti-grav in the room. And the reason you want to do that is you want to grab the zombie shield parts, which, by the way, you should be collecting the zombie shield parts on the way to this point. So you should have collected all the parts by now. If you need a video tutorial on where those parts are, just look up zombie shield or rocket shield part locations to Eisendrache, and you're sure to get a video that'll describe that to you. So once you get all the pieces to the zombie shield, go ahead and just keep filling up the dragon heads with the zombies. And whenever you hit the end of the round, just go ahead and make that zombie shield down in the undercroft. Pick it up. That's going to be super useful, especially early game, so you don't get killed from behind. And yeah, it should just protect you overall. So now that you got the dragon heads done, you're going to be able to have access to the bow. So the bow is going to be your main weapon, obviously, for this map. It's the main special weapon. So you're going to pick up the bow. At this point, you should be anywhere from round 6 to around round 8. Anything later than 8 it's definitely possible, but keeping your rounds lower early game especially is going to help you down the road too at the end, especially during the boss fight. So you're going to want to do the steps to get the lightning bow. Now, this is actually the only upgraded bow you need. You do not need all the bows to be upgraded. You only need one. And so I would definitely recommend going with the lightning bow because it is the most powerful. It is definitely the best to have, especially for you know, later on. Like I said, you don't need any other bows. It's not like the 4-player multiplayer version where everybody needs to have their own bow and all the bows need to be upgraded and made. You only need one bow. So like I said, do the lightning bow. If you need a full tutorial on how to upgrade to the lightning bow, there's plenty out there. Just look it up on YouTube. If I added that into this video, it would probably make it way too long. So I'll just recommend you guys watch another video if you're trying to figure out how to upgrade to the lightning bow. So at this point from now on, you're going to be using the lightning bow as your main weapon. It's just going to be super helpful. All you really have to do is throw a charged arrow down every once in a while, and it'll just take care of all the zombies around you. It's not, yeah, I mean, it doesn't waste that much ammo. I will say, though, you are probably going to run into situations where you're going to run out of ammo in your bow and in your secondary weapon at this point. So there's a couple things you could do here. It's kind of your decision. You could, what I usually do if I'm worried that I'm going to run out of ammo is I start the wolf bow, the steps for the wolf bow earlier on, and I just start doing the steps for the wolf bow while I'm doing, you know, the other steps for the Easter egg. And I do that because when you complete all the steps for the wolf bow, except for the final step where you have to charge up the arrow, when you take the finalized wolf arrow back to its pedestal like you did for the lightning bow but for the wolf bow, when you set the arrow down on the pedestal, you'll get a max ammo automatically, and that happens for any of the bow's arrows. I just found that the wolf bow is the easiest one to do compared to the skull bow and the fire bow. It's just the easiest one to get quickly, especially with the steps that you're already doing for the Easter egg. The only kind of hard part is the step where you're feeding the wolf. You might have to go a couple extra rounds just to feed the wolf and get him to go back to the skeleton, and which gives you the arrow for the wolf bow. So I mean, it's your decision. It's kind of a trade-off. You can either go a couple extra rounds and get that secured max ammo, or you can just go right from getting the lightning bow into the Easter egg steps, and just not worry about a max ammo. Just hope that one pops up from killing zombies at some point or something like that. So anyways, for the next step of the Easter egg, what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to put away your lightning bow. You're going to drop the lightning bow back off on its pedestal down near the pyramid, and you're going to run up to the original bow, just the basic bow that's up by the coffin, crypt area, and you're just going to grab that bow, and you're going to run down to the teleporter room. And the teleporter has these bluish or electric orbs above it. All you have to do is shoot a couple charged arrows up at those orbs and get them all to turn yellow. And when they all turn yellow, you'll hear a Margwa-ish noise that will let you know that the next step has spawned. After you shoot the orbs, immediately run back and pick up the lightning bow, because you need an upgraded bow to do the next step. Don't try to shoot the things with the regular bow, because it won't work. Now the next step is a bit lengthy to describe, so once again I'd recommend looking up another tutorial on how to do it. But basically you're going to teleport yourself back in time. You're going to want to remember that every time you do this going back in time step, when you spawn back at the rocket pad, it's going to automatically spawn a Panzer when you run out to the actual rocket area. So just be ready for that. Just shoot a few charged arrows into him as soon as he lands, and he should go down pretty easily. He should drop a part for the Ragnarok DGs, and you're going to want to pick that up, which I should also be mentioning. You're wanting to pick up the Ragnarok pieces. So if you're not sure about how to get all the Ragnarok pieces, go ahead and look up another tutorial. They'll tell you where you can get the pieces. You can get them all pretty easily while you're doing the rest of the steps of the Easter egg, so it should be pretty simple to just collect all of them. After you complete the time travel step and go back in time, what that did was you basically picked up the fuses and the canister. The canister you use later, but the fuses, you're going to run up to the death ray machine, and you're going to, on the opposite side of the kind of gauge thing that says destroy and protect, there'll be a little box, and you can input the things you picked up into that side of the machine, and then you can run over to the other side and switch the arrow from destroy to protect on the death ray. And then once you do that, you will have access to the main computer, which is right up on the outer wall right there, and all you have to do is input the code that you memorized from being back in time that the doctor put into the lock, and you're just going to input that code, and if you did it right, you'll hear a little confirmation noise. And what that did is it opened up the lock down in the teleporter room. So you just run down to the teleporter room, and the little door in the wall will be open, and you'll be able to pick up the launch code floppy disk looking thing, and there'll be a couple other things in there that you'll need, like fuses. So you'll pick those up, and then you'll run back up to the death ray. You'll run to the sides. There's gonna be little pillars, 2 pillars on each side of the death ray, and you'll see little fuses that are electrified. There'll be 2 that are missing, 1 on each side. So you'll just run up to each side, put in the fuse that's missing, and then you switch the death ray back to destroy, and you're gonna want to run down to. You can go back to that computer that's near you, and you're gonna do a Simon Says minigame. So you're just gonna run up, hold X on the computer again, and it's going to basically for a couple seconds it's gonna flash a sequence of symbols on each of the 4 screens below the main screen, and you just memorize the order. You can pause the game, write down the order if you want, or you can just memorize it, and then those symbols will go away, and on the main screen you'll see a symbol that'll pop up, and you just have to run up to the computer that had that screen on it and hold X on that screen, and if you did it right, it'll work. And then you'll do that a couple times, so that probably I think it's 5 or 6 or 7 times. Just different symbols will pop up on the screen. You get a couple seconds to run up to the computer screen that you memorized that had that symbol on it and hold X. So you're gonna do that, and once you completed that, the screens will just turn off and you'll get the confirmation noise. and then you have to do that again down at the computer at the rocket pad. So while you're down at the rocket pad, you just do the exact same thing. Just run up to the computer, do the Simon Says minigame, and make sure you activated the Pack-a-Punch pieces down at the rocket pad, by the way, as well. Basically, at that point, you're done with the whole Simon Says minigame. All you have to do is run back up to the main Death Ray area, and you're going to run up to the back of the Death Ray, and there's going to be a green button. Press the button, and you'll get a cutscene, which I will show you guys here. Okay, so now you're going to want to run down to where Dempsey just landed. In the middle of the courtyard down there, there's going to be a little piece that you can pick up on the ground. It's going to be kind of buried in the snow, so it's kind of hard to see, but just look where I pick it up. Now, this is basically the last step that you're going to do in the main part of the map. So, what you're going to want to do is take the piece that you just picked up, back down into the Undercroft, to where you originally picked up the original bow, the basic bow, in that coffin where the knight is. There's going to be a little indentation where you can input that piece that you just picked up. And when you put in that piece, it's going to spawn a Keeper Ghost, and the Keeper Ghost will go to 4 locations around the map. One of 4 locations, he'll go, and if you just follow him, he'll go to a spot near a stone tablet in the wall, and he'll just sit there, and there'll be a ring that appears in the ground. And normally, you have to stand in the ring, and then there'll be like a color that shows up on the outside of your screen that shows you which bow you're supposed to use to kill zombies with. But since all you have made at this point is the lightning bow, all of the rings are actually just going to make you use the lightning bow. They're not going to try to make you use any of the other bows. So I found that to be kind of a trick. Like I said, you don't need to build all the bows, you just need one, because even at that step, it'll only choose out of the bows that you already have built. So if you only have the lightning bow built, it's not going to make you use any other bows. Just stand in the ring with your lightning bow, and you're going to kill zombies just inside the ring. Now, I found that the rings usually just take the amount of zombies that it takes to end the round. So just basically you're just going to do a full round of zombies, killing it, and at the end of the round, the Keeper will be done at that spot, and he'll move on to the next spot. Once he gets to either the spot in the kind of tunnel area where Mule Kick is, or the spot outside where the double tap is, one of those spots is going to have a stone tablet that's missing in the wall, and you won't be able to charge it up because the stone tablet's not there. So you're going to have to go back in time again, and this time you're just going to be grabbing the stone tablet out of the crate that opens when you hold X on the book in the right side of the room. So once you get back to the main map, you're going to have to kill another Panzer that spawns at the rocket pad, so be ready for that. And then you're just going to take that stone tablet back to wherever the Keeper was, that the spot that it was missing, and you're just going to place the stone there, and then you're just going to fill up the ring like normal, and you're just going to do that at all 4 locations that the Keeper goes, and eventually when you complete the 4th location, the Keeper will turn red and kind of actually physical, and that means he's done charging up at each of the spots. And then he's just going to go back into the Undercroft where the pyramid was, and he's going to go stand in the middle, and then there will be zombies spawning at this point, so be careful. But once he actually reaches the middle and the cutscene starts playing, the zombies will all despawn. So just kind of be ready for that, and I'll let this cutscene play for you guys. Okay, so now the MPD has spawned back in the Undercroft, and the Keeper is going to be inside of it. So you're going to see those blue canisters. Remember that blue canister you picked up when you went back in time the first time? You're going to see 4 of those around the, or 3 of those actually, on each corner of the pyramid, except for one. One is going to be missing, and that's where you're going to place the one that you picked up when you were back in time. So you're just going to run to that corner that's missing its blue canister, hold X, place it down, and the pyramid is going to open and show the Keeper is going to float out. And now this is actually the last step of the Easter egg. So all you have to do is, at this point, is get ready for the boss fight. And the boss fight is going to be difficult. Like, I'm just going to let you know right now, this is a pretty difficult boss fight, especially when you're in solo. You have to be prepared. Don't just immediately go in there. Make sure you have the zombie shield. Make sure you have Juggernog, Quick Revive. I usually go with Double Tap or Speed Cola, depending on what secondary weapon I have. And you can do whatever other perks you want. Use your Gobble Gums. Make sure you're using your Gobble Gums to get your On the House, and maybe your Unquenchable as well. Just get as many perks as you can. And try to, before you go into the boss fight, try to get either in plain sight or anywhere but here. Preferably in plain sight. In plain sight is going to be really helpful for the boss fight at certain parts that I'll show you in a second. But yeah, just make sure you're prepared to go and get a good secondary weapon. If you have Mule Kick, get another weapon. If I have just one secondary weapon, I just pack a bunch of twice and try to get like a perk on it, like Thunderwall or Inferno or whatever it's called. And yeah, so I usually go with either a shotgun or like an LMG or something as my secondary. In this case, I think I went with the Dracon. Now, if you're going to go through a few extra rounds to get ready, that's okay. But you want to do the boss fight preferably as early as you can. So definitely before round 30. So anything after round 30, the boss fight is going to be extremely, extremely difficult. I would recommend doing this around like round 25 to 30 is probably where you want to be doing this at. So, okay, with that being said, you're ready for the boss fight. You made sure you have everything. Now, all you have to do to activate the boss fight is go down into the Undercroft, hold your Ragnaroks out, but you just place them in the ground on top of one of the squares where you activate the anti-grav, and just place them on any of those squares, and you'll immediately enter into the boss fight. Okay, now this boss fight has 3 phases. So the first phase is the one you spawn into. So all you have to do in the first phase is just kind of, basically your strategy for this boss fight is you're just going to be running around in circles around that room. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but that's your best bet. You're just going to run in circles. Don't stop. Like, you can stop for a couple seconds, but just try to stay mobile as much as possible. Just keep running around. Do some zigzags every now and then. Make sure you're shooting down your lightning bow every once in a while, and you know, just covering yourself. At the first round isn't too bad. The Keeper's just going to be flying above you, and he's going to be throwing these skeletons at you, which will do a little bit of damage. It's not that big of a deal. Just kind of ignore those. There'll be skeleton zombies spawning around you, so just shoot your lightning bow down every once in a while and get rid of those. There'll also be little fire, like volcano pits that'll spawn in the ground around the room randomly, which will burn you if you stand on them, so don't do that. And all you're doing right now is waiting until the Keeper spawns over the center of the room, and he's going to start coming down towards the middle of the room, and you'll see, when that happens, you'll see a like lightning ball in the center of the room right underneath him. And as soon as you see that, you need to run up immediately, pull out your Ragnaroks, and place them down like you did to enter the boss fight. Place them down right where that lightning ball is, so that they're directly underneath him. And it'll stun him if you did it right. If you timed it, or you just didn't see it coming, or your Ragnaroks weren't fully charged yet, you're going to have to hide behind one of the pillars in the room, because once he lands in the lightning ball, if you don't have the Ragnaroks underneath him, he'll unleash a like lightning blast throughout the entire room that will insta-kill you if you're not behind a pillar. So make sure you're behind a pillar if you didn't get the Ragnaroks underneath him. So if you did manage to get the Ragnaroks underneath him, it'll stun him, and he'll kind of open up his chest, and you'll see a yellow spot in his chest, and all you're gonna do is shoot a arrow directly underneath you. I usually do a lightning arrow, a fully charged one, to kind of keep the zombies off of you while you're doing this, and just look up at his chest and start shooting charged arrows into his chest. It should only take a couple at first to just like kind of get rid of him, and once he like screams and runs away, that's the end of the first round. You will get a max ammo after you stun the you complete the first round of the keeper fight, so there'll be a max ammo that spawns in the middle of the room. You can kind of just waste some of your ammo and then go pick that up. But yeah, panzers are gonna spawn, and usually when I see the panzer spawn, I just pop my in plain sight so they can't see me, and I just run up to them and just shoot a bunch of charged arrows into their faces and just kind of do as much damage as I can while I'm invisible. And then once I run out of that in plain sight, I just start running around the room like normal, shooting charged arrows down everywhere I can to keep the zombies off of me, and just shooting arrows at the panzers to kill them. You can switch to your secondary weapon, and if you have a good secondary, and just kind of like shoot the zombie or the panzers with that. If you have a shotgun, that works especially well. Once you kill the first panzer, you'll get a max ammo that spawns in the center of the room, and when you kill the last panzer, you'll get a max ammo that spawns in the center of the room. So keep an eye on your ammo, because it is easy to run out of ammo in this room. And once you kill all 3 panzers, you're going to enter the second round of the boss fight. And so the keeper's going to spawn back. He's going to do the the normal moves. He's going to have skeletons chasing you. There'll be more skeletons chasing you. There'll be more like skulls chasing you, and there will be more volcano pits that spawn. So all you have to do is keep running around, and it will be more difficult this time around. So just be careful of that. It is very easy to go down. You're gonna be getting hit by those skulls a lot. You can't really dodge them, so you're gonna be taking constant damage pretty much. So if you're just standing still at any point, you're gonna get into a bad position. So I would definitely just say, just keep running around in circles. Wait for the keeper to spawn over the center again, and then activate the lightning ball underneath him. And make sure you're keeping an eye on that. You have to kind of multitask. You have to make sure that you're running around in circles, throwing down lightning arrows whenever you can, keep the zombies off of you. And you have to avoid the pits of lava, and you have to keep an eye on the center to make sure that you're ready for the to place the Ragnaroks down underneath the keeper when he starts descending. So assuming you did all that correctly and you place the Ragnaroks down, he'll get stunned again. You just do the you shoot him in the chest again, and now you're gonna get another round of you're gonna get another max ammo, so you can waste some ammo and pick that up. But you're gonna get another round of 3 panzers, and this time it's gonna be really difficult because there's gonna be 3 panzers. There's gonna be the dogs. There's gonna be skeletons, and I think there might be some skulls as well. So you're gonna be taking constant damage. This is the part where you just have to keep running around. You can't stop even for a second. You have to just spam your lightning arrows as much as possible, and use your in plain sight at the beginning again to do as much damage to the panzers as possible. And yeah, try to kill them first. Like, just focus on them as much as possible, because their flamethrowers will not only damage you, but they will also slow you. So you can't sprint while you're being hit by the flamethrowers for a few seconds. So that's going to be really annoying, especially when there's 3 of them all on you at once. And so you can go down very, very easily. I know it doesn't look like it, but even if you have Juggernaut, you're going to go down very, very fast. So be cautious. Just take it slow. Just keep running around. Turn back every once in a while. Shoot an arrow at the panzers. Turn around, run. Throw some arrows beneath you, and just keep running. And eventually you will kill the panzers. Just be careful. Pick up the max ammo and get ready for the final keeper round. This is going to be where the lava pits will be all around the room in a circle, and they will spawn all at once, so you need to be careful. You also will get more skulls chasing you. You will have dogs, and you will have skeletons. So again, just keep running around. Just keep running around, throwing your lightning bow wherever you can, and just stay on guard. Keep your eyes on the center for when the keeper starts descending again. And when he does descend, put your Ragnaroks down, and shoot him in the chest a couple more times, and that should finish him off. And if you've made it to this point, you're pretty much done, so congratulations. So all you need to do is you're going to be teleported back to the Undercroft. The summoning key will pop out of the pyramid in a couple seconds, and you'll be able to pick it up. And I'm not sure if a Panzer always spawns, but every time that I've done it, a Panzer has been outside when I did this, so be careful. I think a Panzer normally spawns when you return to the main world. Just pick up the summoning key as fast as possible and run with it all the way up to the main computer on the outer wall. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. You have completed the Eisendrache SOLO Easter egg. So congratulations. This is the ending cutscene right here.
Protocol initiated. 30 seconds to impact. You're eating multiple rocket launches. What have you done? You are a foreign of it. Even the destruction of this facility and my own death will not prevent the advancement of our cause. Your stop nothing.
Once I thought us fools to dare change history, but now I am not so sure.
The road is long and dark, but I know where we are going. We will complete our mission.
Alrighty then, well, thank you everyone for watching my video on the tutorial for the Black Ops 3 The Eisendrache SOLO Easter egg. I will be putting up the tips and tricks that I went over in this video right now, so you should see those. And you can kind of go back and just get a summary of what we talked about. Once again, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who supported me up to this point. My last tutorial video for Black Ops got almost 40,000 views. I was so blown away by it. I just want to thank you guys. And I will be making more content like this, tutorial videos and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for those. And I'm also streaming on Twitch, sometimes YouTube, and Facebook. So be on the lookout for my live streams. And yeah, so thank you very much. That is the end of my guide, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.